How to fix a large Bycast leather tear and reinforce the panel using our leather repair filler kit. Okay, so here we have a very common issue with Bycast leather. This is a Bycast leather rip. You can see that there's thin areas right here, even up here. You want to sort of check the area with your fingers to see where the thin areas are. There's one. There's another one here, and of course the large rip. So what we're going to do is we're going to reinforce this whole area underneath. We're going to do that using our leather repair filler. That's the 2 ounce. You get a couple spatulas, some 10 by 12 leather repair cloths, okay, some gloves, some sandpaper for sanding down your work, and of course all our products come with full instructions and videos. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take the foam out of this cushion, flip it inside out, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we're back. We flipped the cushion inside out, got rid of the foam, and as you can see here, you can see how there's sort of like a white grain here. This is probably more from the gut of the animal. This is probably a belly wrinkle. As you can see here, this panel here is much more uniform. It's much more straight. This is probably more from the spine of the animal. Over here, you can see all the different areas, okay, from the shearing process. Because what these are is their skins, they're sheared. Now this particular is a Bycast leather where they get the cowhide and then they laminate on a polyurethane coating. It's pretty tough, it's pretty durable, it's easy cleanup, but when you do have a belly wrinkle area like this and there's force applied, or there's always, you know, if it's in an area where you're always constantly sitting, it will rip open like this, and like I said, it's a very common issue. So there's still a thin area here, so what we're going to do is we're going to most likely going to reinforce this whole panel. Okay, we have our leather repair filler. We're going to open it up. This is the 2 ounce. We're going to apply it to the whole panel. Just like that. We're not going to apply it over the rip yet. We want to mark out the rip, keeping about 1 inch away from the tear. Okay? That's part 2. Okay, so we're not going to put the filler right around the rip yet. We're just going to go around this whole area and we're going to put the cloth down. We'll be back in a minute after we've filled this all in. Okay, so we're back. We've spread the filler all around the rip. And also too, that this type of rip here is pretty much unheard of. A lot of technicians or different people in the industry would say, "Are you kidding me? You cannot repair that rip. That panel has to be replaced." Well, you can fix it with this. You don't have to buy a new couch. You don't have to put a new panel in it for $260. You can actually fix this up. And now that this is all pretty much spread out evenly, we're going to apply our cloth. Just like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now what this cloth is going to do is the filler is going to soak into the cloth. And when it cures, it's going to bond. It's going to be a strong membrane. And the nice thing about this as well is this cloth breathes. So that means that the filler is going to cure properly on this side and breathe right through to the underside. If you use something that's more dense or some other type of material, if you're not getting the proper breathing, it's going to take a heck of a long time for it to dry and cure. So now that we've done this, we're going to let this dry for about 18 to 24 hours, and we'll be back after that. Okay, so we're back. This area has dried about 24 hours. It's fully cured. We're going to flip it inside out and we're going to put the foam back in it. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we're back. What we've done is we've put the cushion back in it, and as you can see here, this whole reinforcement is beautifully nice and strong again. It's going to provide a lot of strength and support, but we have to now fix the rip. So we're going to fill it in with our filler. Try to get all the areas inside, all the way to the area that you fixed before. All around the perimeter inside. Go to the outer edge inside here, fill it all in. Make sure you're not leaving any pockets or anything like that. Now what we're going to do, since it's all inside there, and we've sort of gotten all the areas, left no sort of air bubbles, we're just going to press it down, just like this. Okay. You can wipe your palette knife off. You can even use your palette knife to sort of glue it all down. Fingers work always best. You never replace your finger. So there's an area right there where there was an actual piece of leather missing. So I'm going to push all of this down. This is the part where sometimes it takes a little bit of time, and you want to make, because what you want to do is this edge right here, you want to sort of push it down so it's like this. I don't know if you could, like, you want sort of a cave in here, and then you want to fill it over top. So we're going to push this all down inside the edges. Fold those edges down inside. Let's clean this area up. So put that back into our filler container so we can see. So what I'm doing is I'm getting the palette knife, not like, well, you can do it like this, but it's always best to finish it off like this. And you're making that groove now with the actual ripped area. You want to keep a little bit of a groove. Push all this area down. And again, this is a very large rip. It's not an easy repair, but you're watching me do it. And if you think that you can duplicate what I'm doing, which most people can, you'll be able to fix it up just as I am. Okay? So, now we can sort of fill that cave in. Okay, but first we want to If you can see it bubbling a little bit, you want to sort of flatten those areas out a little bit. You might have to push some of the filler out. Just a little bit. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Just got to complete this area here. If you have a little flap here, you know you have to push that down. Put some filler in it. Just like that. And of course you can clean the filler up at this time. If you have any on your work, you can clean it up. Okay, but that's looking pretty good, and we're going to let that cure in about 24 hours and we'll be back. Okay, so we're back. This is all cured up. As you can see, there's lots of strength in there. The rip is totally fixed. What you want to do is you want to feel the area. If there are any rough areas, you would just take your 600 grade sandpaper and no downward pressure, just like a little bit of back and forth, quicker motions. Okay, and you just want to make sure that it's nice and smooth. Again, this was a very advanced leather repair. It was huge. The whole area was reinforced. So now this is nice and smooth and it's fully cured. We're going to apply our leather dye, and this is a black A color. We're going to shake it up. We're going to apply it to the sponge. Okay, we're going to put our first coat on. And that's going to soak into the leather repair filler. Put a thin coat on first. You can either dry this area up with a hair dryer, or you can just let it sit for 4 or 5 hours or overnight, and we'll be back. Okay, so this area is dried up. That's our first coat. We're going to put another coat of dye on there. If you want to put the dye on thicker, this is the way you do it. You just dab it on. And again, you would just let that sit and dry overnight, or you can use your hair dryer to dry that area up quickly. Okay. This area is going to need a few coats. And see here where you've gotten the leather filler. If you want to remove that, you can just take a little bit of rubbing alcohol and remove that. Or if you wanted to try to sand it out, but there's stitching here, so you know, or you could just wipe over with leather dye. It's not a problem. Okay, so let's sort of blend this in a little bit. I'd like to put a few coats on here. It just provides a lot more protection. That looks good. Dry it up. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Just going to put another coat on it. We're just going to blend in the whole panel here and just wipe in the dye. Just like this. That's looking pretty good. We're going to dry this up and we'll be back to seal it. Okay, so we're back to seal it. This is our professional leather sealer. Brand new sponge. We're going to shake it up. We're going to apply it evenly onto the sponge. Basically just going to wipe it in. Just like that. And then we're going to dry this area. Like that, and we're finished. This is a beautiful repair for what it was. This is our leather repair filler, the applicator, the repair cloth, the leather dye, and the sealer. You can find all these at leathertouchupdye.com.
To order this and many other fine leather products, go to leathertouchupdye.com.